Now, Matt Barnes, I love that pretty much every time you're here, you bring some breaking news with you. That is so kind of you. You just dropped a new episode of your All the Smoke podcast with Steven Jackson on Showtime. Fantastic. Everybody should check it out. And you guys interviewed Kevin Durant. He had said some very eye-opening things about when he knew he was leaving Golden State.
Yeah.
Take a listen, everyone.
When did you know that your time in Golden State was up?
I mean, I knew just about halfway point through the year. I mean, I could feel like, you know, there's a separation between the two. It just feel like everybody was just waiting on me to make a decision on free agency, even, you know, from the coaches to my teammates to the media. It's like
there was a narrative
like,
throughout the season.
KD, like, what you gonna do? It's like January, and I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to hoop.
Matt, all we heard from KD during last season, he wasn't going to make a decision until he saw the end of the year. He was going to let the season play out. That he came on your guys' pod and said he actually felt secure in his decision by mid-season. What did you think of that?
I respected and understood the situation because I was in that locker room and saw how the media pit him against the rest of the team. It's the Warriors and KD, and that was the narrative that everyone ran with. So he came out and said he probably knew at the halfway point some stuff had happened. I think we all saw the Draymond situation. That really hurt him. But at the end of the day, whether he knew or not, he still went out there and played as hard as he possibly could every single night.
Absolutely. I mean, it cost him his body.
Came back and tore an Achilles for that team. So whether he knew he was leaving or not, he would never say nothing, and he just did what he had to do as a professional. So now people want to get mad and bash him, or you checked out. No. He still did his job every single night, and like I said, it cost him, could have been a career injury. Luckily, medicine has forwarded enough to get him back, but he still played his butt off, and I respect that.
I mean, the media, Jackie?
Right, but can you imagine, too, if you ever said halfway through the year, yeah, peace out.
No, I agree.
Right. So, and I agree, play just as hard. I think something else significant happened halfway through the year that may have colored his thinking, and I'm talking about Kyrie Irving in Boston, who about halfway through his tenure there, I think decided it's time for me to move on. I reported at length about Rio in 2016 with DeAndre and Kyrie and KD on that boat, talking about,
their
you know what,
version of banana boat.
Right,
exactly.
Someday we want to play together.
Very big banana boat, very big.
And to Kyrie's credit, too, by the way, he never said a word about what he was going to do until the year was out.
Actually, Jackie, he said he was re-signing with Boston before the season.
Oh, but that was early, hon. We're talking about halfway through the year. That was like the first 3 weeks in. And then he just said, I'm going to do what's best for me.
Right.
And so neither one of them tipped their hand, but that doesn't mean that.
Yeah, and look, I want to make it clear, I have not heard at all from your podcast after that or anyone else that Kevin Durant checked out on the Warriors.
Right.
I just don't think that's the narrative
absolutely.
out
And I
there.
think, too,
Absolutely
sometimes
not.
what people have to understand as players, of course, you may have a feeling going in, but you're not going to say so. The fact that he sits down after the season and opens up, now people want to be mad at him, but players know along,
This was nice, by the
all
way.
knew this.
Right, exactly.
After the
We knew a
game,
long
what
time
you're seeing
before,
right
man.
here is Steph and KD, and the hug that they had that
It
you
was a
just
real
saw on
hug.
their screen.
It was a real hug.
That's a real hug.
No
like,
doubt.
you can tell that. And I thought that was really nice. I mentioned it on the show yesterday.
hold on to this.
I think that the Warriors, and as a whole, Steve Kerr, Steph, Clay, and then Kevin Durant have been pretty great about each other publicly since Kevin left. But it wasn't like that when Kevin left Oklahoma City.
Right, but
So
why
it is
wouldn't they? But why wouldn't they?
But
he
it-
won 2 championships for it. He was the MVP.
I'm just saying, Jackie, we've seen it go the other way, so I am praising the fact that everyone has behaved in a classy way. I think that's worth remarking on.
I do
I want to
understand that.
remind you what just happened with the Warriors, though, and the Timberwolves, because we had a huge trade to open the show. D'Angelo Russell going to Minnesota to join Karl Anthony Towns in exchange for Andrew Wiggins. Matt, I want to get your take on this.
I'm not sold on it. I don't like it, to be honest with you. Not that Wiggins is a very talented player.
So you don't like it for Golden State,
I don't
your
like
old
it for
team?
Golden State. Yeah, I just don't see where he fits in that. You know, Paul and I were talking off camera that they kind of have, if you're not a Kevin Durant, you're kind of a 3-and-D type wing, and that's neither of those are his strengths. You know, so where does he fit in? I understand the culture, you know, organization, where players go in their organization plays a big role in how their career is, you know, how their career goes. I still think he can't get out of the I was the number 1 pick and hasn't really lived up to that standard.
Yep.
Well, so, you know, I said on the show the other
Yeah.
day, I thought I was the last person on earth that thought Andrew Wiggins in a new environment might work. Apparently,
You and Bob Myers.
Me, Bob Myers, and Steve Kerr. I'm feeling a lot better today. And everything you said is true, Matt, but I would say this. The one thing you have to remember about Andrew Wiggins, he's been with one organization his entire career, an organization that had a lot of turnover, a lot of turmoil,
Several
passing
coaches.
away, coaches, GMs, changes. So if Andrew Wiggins wants to succeed, he's got to be willing to let go of that number 1 pick. He's got to be like Dwight Howard in his resurgence with the Lakers and say, okay, my career's hanging in the balance. What am I going to do to salvage it?
You know, how do you ask a player to reinvent himself? He's in the prime of his career age-wise.
I understand.
And, you know, before the season, he said, I am a top 50 or top 100 player in the league today.
Right.
So he has to find a way, I think, to reinvent himself.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully the culture, the environment can help change that, being around champs, being around veterans. But, you know, like Matt said, I don't know how does he adjust. I mean, he's been a star his whole life. He's given star minutes. He's given star opportunities. I mean, you know, he gets
Star treatment.
Star
So
treatment.
you should go out to lunch with Dwight Howard.
And so now it's like, you know, he's going to be at best 4th option. You know, how is he going to take that in, you know, especially being so young and in the prime of his career?
Well, Paul, during the break, I was saying to you guys, I said, oh, but he'll be in that really encouraging environment of Steve Kerr and Steph Curry. And what was the guy you guys brought up?
Draymond is going to stay on him.
Yeah, I mean,
So there will be a
Draymond's
little bit of Jimmy Butler type style in his ear.
Maybe that won't be so bad.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For highlights and analysis, check out the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, check out ESPN+.